You want to know now? You want?
I knew I was gonna get fined out. How much they fined me?
$25,000. I reported it down. League sources tell Yahoo being fined $25,000 for
telling the fan to shut the f up and watch the game.
Yeah, I tell. So I just tweeted that out right now.
Yeah, it's more fans should understand what that means.
What happened with that, man?
Grown men can't come to a game and heckle grown men. That's corny and that's weak. You come into a game to heckle another grown man. You soft, you weak. Draymond this, Draymond that.
Yeah.
You a bitch.
All right, listen, the NBA had to fine Durant, and I understand the NBA saying you can't be cursing at the fans, but I agree with KD there, 100%.
How can you agree with him?
What? That's the basis for any, that's where fans come, they heckle.
No.
You ever been to a football game?
Yeah, I have been to a football game, and I think grown-ups heckling, not booing, heckling, cursing at players, stuff like that, you might get clapped back at.
And if you come heckle me on Thanksgiving, come heckle me and let me give you just a little sample of what I got for you. All right, come on.
Right. Chris Carter. Man, your hand's been overrated since Ohio State.
Absolutely.
That's why they kicked you out of school. You bum.
There's only two people who know about my hands more than me, Nick. That's your mom and your sister.
Oh!
Eat that on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Right. So see, you agree with me.
No, I
you gotta
don't.
Clap back.
Well, the player can clap back.
Yeah.
But the fan, he done paid money. He can say what he wants, as long as he don't throw nothing. Okay. He can say whatever he wanted to say.
Time for
I can say
stories.
whatever I want.
Start your morning, and you did. The Warriors.
Hi, Mom and Sis on Thanksgiving.
We love you.
Yeah, both of them.
The best. The Warriors continue to struggle last night. As we mentioned, they lost 4 in a row. First time since Steve Kerr became the coach. They've lost 4 straight. Steph Curry still out with a groin injury. Nick, does this prove that Steph Curry is the most important Warrior?
We are just getting further confirmation on this. How about this? On court, off court, thanks to Tom Haberstroh. Since Steph and KD got there, only Steph on the court, they're plus 14 points per 100 possessions. Only Durant on the court, they're minus a half point per 100 possessions. So they go from super elite to right below league average. Yeah, people who say Durant's better don't care. Steph is the man there. We keep seeing confirmation of it.
How many times, Nick, Steph been MVP?
Steph been MVP twice.
Okay, well, I mean, let's just not forget. Like, Steph Curry, only because LeBron James and Kevin Durant, that's the full discussion of who are the best players in the world. I always just think it's a great argument. Of course, if you didn't have one of them, the other one would miss him. Yes.
All right, big game in college basketball last night. Number 3 Gonzaga handed top-ranked Duke the first loss of its year. Zion Williamson, 22 points in the losing effort. See, what'd you make of Duke's loss?
Oh, man, this is a good loss. I mean, they're going against a veteran, an international team. I mean, the guy there in Gonzaga does a tremendous job. Mark Few. I mean, you talking about coaching? The way he isolated these young players, the way he brought them out to the three-point line, went back door. He's done a great job there for a long time. 9 straight NCAA bids for Gonzaga. So not surprised by this veteran-oriented ball player because they played a spectacular game.
And listen, it was a nice near comeback by Duke at the end. Gonzaga kept giving them opportunities by missing free throws. I didn't love at the end that Zion didn't touch the ball, and I'd like to see as the year goes on, can we see some high pick and roll with Zion Williamson? I don't know how a college team's going to defend that. We're seeing it with R.J. Barrett. I'd like to see with Zion.
Well, you're going to watch Duke play a lot this season because of the talent they have on the court, but also you're going to figure something out. They don't call a lot of plays, Nick.
You're right.
Come on, Coach K. You can keep coaching. I know you're out there.
Moving on to the NFL, Chicago heading to Detroit to take on the Lions today. Bears most likely without quarterback Mitchell Trubisky, still nursing a shoulder injury. So Chase Daniel will be under center. See, you think the Bears still win without Trubisky?
I think people are going to be shocked at the level their offense is still able to play at. Nick and I are 2 people that are fans of Chase Daniel and what he can do. And I just believe also, I believe that the coach, Nagy, is a special guy. And I believe he's got special play calling ability. And I just believe as this offense with all these young players continues to evolve, they're going to be ultimately, they're going to look a lot like Kansas City. They're going to look a lot like the Rams in a style of attacking defense.
The only reason they wouldn't is if their quarterback, when he gets healthy, doesn't take that next step.
Yes.
I'll tell you what Vegas thinks of Mitch Trubisky right now. ruled out or doubtful for the game. We think it's Chase Daniel. Line didn't move an inch. Like, they think that right now Chase Daniel can come in and do what Mitch Trubisky does. And by the way, if you haven't watched Chase since his time at Missouri, he'll run around a bit, much like Trubisky. He's shorter than him. Yeah. He's going to be one of the shorter quarterbacks. I think he's one of the best backups in the league.
After this game, Jen, about halfway through, you're going to be like, I like him.
Yo, Chase is going to be Jen's guy. No doubt about it.
I like him.
See, the Washington-Dallas game, 4 p.m. on Fox. DeMarcus Lawrence says the Cowboys have to get turnovers against this Washington team. He said the Dallas D will try to get all the turkeys we can. See, does the Washington offense have any chance against this Dallas D?
No, they really do. I believe that Jay Gruden, he's really underrated as a coach in the way he game plans. One of the reasons why I question Adrian Peterson being effective there, because Washington and Jay Gruden hadn't run a lot of I formation. Man, he's adapted to that personnel. He likes to play very, very physical. So, yes, I do believe this is a good Dallas defense, but don't sleep on the Colts.
Listen, if they are going to be able to move the ball, a lot of it's going to be Colt McCoy breaking the game plan as far as scrambling away from pressure and either making a play with his feet or making a play downfield off schedule, because I don't think they can block the Cowboys front, and I don't think their tight ends and wide receivers can run away on those crossing routes from those Dallas inside linebackers who are outstanding. So I think it's Colt's going to have to play one of his best NFL games of his very brief starting career for them to have a shot to move the ball.
All right, finally, Drew Brees and the Saints take on the Falcons tonight, looking to win their 10th straight game. In his quest for his first MVP award, Brees has thrown 25 touchdowns, only 1 pick. Here he is on his success this year.
When I step on the field, I feel like I can see it before it happens, you know, and it takes a lot of work to get to that point. And listen, that doesn't mean that there's not surprises. There's always surprises. That's part of what you expect. You expect to see surprises. You expect to see the team that you're going against have a wrinkle that, you know, maybe you didn't expect or that you weren't anticipating. And then it's your job to have a plan for it, have an answer for it, have an adjustment for it. But I feel good playing the game right now.
See, that's something we only hear certain times by certain high-caliber athletes. Michael Jordan, I was in the zone, I felt it. LeBron James at times, Tiger Woods, where you can do nothing wrong. The ball is big, the hole is big. Is that sort of where Brees is right now? What do you make of what he had to say?
Remember about a little over a year ago, Tom Brady gave us a little insight, and people were talking about, oh, he's done, he's not going to play anymore. Tom Brady's like, well, why would I quit? And I have all the answers to the test.
Why would I stop taking the test I have all the answers to?
Absolutely. And Drew Brees, he just gave us some insight, even in his interview. Just look how comfortable he was explaining a game that is very, very complicated and also very, very violent. So right now, he's able to play at a level, and I could appreciate not only the interview, because I was able to sit down with him earlier in the season because I was doing the game. And some of the things he talked about, because I talked about young players and their ability to get more accurate throwing the football. And he said, yes, I do believe as you get older and more experienced in this league, Chris, you can develop that, because a lot of that comes from knowing not only what they're lining up in, but where are they going to move to? And he said, in doing that, I can anticipate not only where guys are going to start, but as the play develops, where they'll be in the middle of the play and where they'll be at the end of the play. So now I know where my hots are. I know where all the guys in the offense are going to be. So my ability to get more accurate sometimes has something to do with my arm strength, but it has a lot to do with I can anticipate, because the plays are happening in real time in me, like for me, like in slow motion. And that's the rarity that we see these elite athletes be able to get to. And he gave us a great insight by sharing that with us.
The lack of mistakes he's made this year, and I don't just mean turnovers, because he obviously has just the 1 interception. I mean just missed passes. The only way it's possible to play this many games at this high of a level is if you are seeing the Matrix. For, you know, to mix metaphors a bit, is if it is truly slowing down for you in a way that I would say the vast majority of Pro Bowl guys have never had it slow down for them, even briefly in their career. I mean, 25 touchdowns to 1 interception is make-believe. That can't, there's tipped passes. There's passes that hit your receiver in the hands, and they then pop up in the air of the defender. 77% completions. Think probably 10% are just throwaways, are throws he's not even trying to complete. He's not missing passes this year.
Nick, it's like as if you were a poker player, and you were a world famous poker player, and somehow they had some type of app that gave you every tell of every card player, elite card player in the world. So you went in knowing what their tells were, so you can anticipate potentially what their cards were doing.
That's so funny. See, I know we got to move on. You read my, I was going to use a poker analogy, and I was like, man, I'm going to use a poker analogy.
I'm off brand.
Chris is going to be like, oh, this nerd bringing it to his gambling. But that's exactly what I think it is. He can see the tells of the defense to go along with his super high level play. Sean Payton, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara. That's what creates what is right now the most efficient quarterbacking season we've ever seen.
When you have a hand in Go Fish, right?
Okay,
Oh, we're not. Oh,
no,
okay. So I'll do that. I'll do that after. Okay. Moving on to LeBron James now, 6'8" forward from St. Vincent, St. Mary High School. That's how the Cavs introduced him as the Lakers visited Cleveland, and just like old times.